What exactly is a global delusion? What is crushing the minds of 8 billion people on planet Earth at this exact moment in time? Where is it leading us? What are the consequences? Together, in this video, we explore those questions, and many more. The mystery of global delusion has a profound and serious impact on each and every one of us, right now, in this very moment in time.
The Apostle Paul prophesied the global delusion of 2025 to 2032, nearly 2,000 years ago. In 50 AD, he wrote this prophecy in a letter as a warning sign of the last days, delivered to the church in Thessaloniki, Greece. Paul writes in 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 11, God is sending a strong delusion upon the earth, on those who reject the truth and believe in lies. When you see this happen, then you know the end will come.
First, we need to establish our understanding of the word delusion, the definition, meaning, and how the word is used.
According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the proper English usage of the word delusion is framed by the following definitions. 1. Something that is falsely believed and or propagated. Next, a persistent false belief, bordering on psychotic, regarding one's self or other persons that is maintained despite indisputable evidence to the contrary. Lastly, the abnormal state marked by false beliefs and the act of deceiving others, i.e. gaslighting, to create a state of being deluded.
Simply put, delusion is a false idea or belief that the deluded have turned into fact. However, there are a multitude of synonyms that Merriam-Webster add that create layers, complexity, and depth to our understanding of the word delusion. For example, falsehood, untruth, falsity, lie, and misinformation, to mention a few.
Next, the top 5 global delusions rampant in the world today.
Delusion number 1. Aliens are our friends. A Glocalities survey found nearly 50% of people believe friendly extraterrestrials are visiting us from intelligent civilizations. A YouGov survey reports nearly 30% of Americans believe aliens have our best interest in mind.
False. Aliens and UFOs are deceptions by evil interdimensional disembodied spirits, aka demons. Since 1945, they have shot down military pilots, abducted humans, removed blood from ranch animals, activated nuclear missile sites, terrified and left a wake of hundreds of psychologically damaged human beings.
In Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, the Apostle Paul exposes this alien delusion for what it is, a deception from evil, fallen angels. He states, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places."
Delusion number 2. God does not exist. Gallup International reports on April 12, 2023, nearly 30% of the world, 3 billion people do not believe there is a God, or not sure that God exists.
False. The truth of the matter. Long ago, at various times, in many ways, God spoke to our fathers by the prophets. But in these last days, God has spoken to us by His Son, Jesus Christ, whom He appointed heir of all things, and through Christ, He also created the world. Apostle Paul, Hebrews chapter 1, verses 1 to 2.
So really, there is no excuse. Through what God has made, He has revealed Himself, namely His invisible qualities, His eternal power, and divine nature. As it is written, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims His handiwork. Day to day pours out His speech, and night to night reveals His knowledge. Psalm 19, verses 1 to 2.
Delusion number 3. Arab Islamic nations of the Mideast are our friends. Educational institutions like Harvard and Columbia provide students guidance on care for Muslims. Countries like the UK, Canada, Australia, France, New Zealand, and Norway sanction Israel for defending itself from Islamic nations that have one goal, jihad.
False. Arab Islamic nations are not our friends. According to the Pew Research Center, Muslim nations, Jordan, Palestine, Qatar, Yemen, Lebanon, Iran, and Saudi Arabia, 97% polled have a largely hateful or unfavorable view of 3 billion people in the world today, mainly Christians, Jews, Americans, and Europeans.
Jihad is not from God. Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. 1 John, chapter 4, verses 7 to 8.
Delusion number 4. Donald Trump is God's chosen one. Billions of people from Israel, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, India, and the United States, as well as 50% of Catholics and Protestants, have been duped by a man who at the 2025 inauguration refused to place his hand on the Bible.
False. Donald Trump is not from God. Embroiled in serious moral conflicts, Donald Trump is a convicted felon, convicted self-admitted rapist, speaks of his lust for retribution, hate and murder of enemies, and has a 15-year BFF relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, a serial reputation of being a pedophile.
Delusion number 5. Russia and China are our friends. In a Pew Research Center survey of 35 countries, about 30% view Russia and China favorably, about 3 billion people. However, in a 2023 Gallup survey, 71% of Russia and China view each other more favorably because they are communists, and double the global average.
False. Russia and China are not our friends. Here is the truth of the matter, on both counts.
Russia. Under Russian revolutionary Lenin came the Red Terror of 1918 to 1922. After murdering the royal family, he unleashed retribution on all perceived enemies. His rampage cost the lives of 500,000 to 1 million clergy, peasants, and political opponents. All were murdered in cold blood.
Simultaneously, Lenin incited a Russian revolution from 1917 to 1922, primarily a purge of Christians, Jews, and peasants. Estimates range from 7 million to 12 million were murdered by Lenin, eradicating God from the Soviet Union.
The 1930s Lenin's successor Joseph Stalin was responsible for the Great Purge. His political repression, forced labor, and the weapon of induced famine. Stalin murdered more than 20 million citizens of the newly conquered states merged into the Union of the Soviet Socialist Republic, USSR.
Also in the 1930s, Stalin instituted the Gulag prison system, targeting Christians, Jews, and political opponents. Gulags are a network of Siberian forced labor camps, void of food, water, and heat. Estimates as high as 60 million have been murdered in gulags to this very day.
Now, a famous quote. Stalin once quipped, "When one person dies, it is sad. When more than one person dies, it's just a number."
Under Nikita Khrushchev's leadership from 1953 to 1964, this Russian leader was responsible for the murder of thousands of Hungarians, 12,000 Poles, and 30,000 Ukrainians.
Currently, Vladimir Putin has been in power in Russia since the year 2000. He has murdered thousands invading Crimea and 500,000 deaths of babies, children, mothers, and soldiers while invading Ukraine. Putin is also responsible for 1 million deaths of Russian soldiers between the ages of 18 and 40.
China. During the 20th century, Mao Zedong, the founder of the People's Republic of China, Communist Party, is widely considered the Chinese ruler responsible for the murders of the most citizens. The death toll during his rule vary, but many sources suggest it to be in the tens of millions.
For example, Mao's Great Leap Forward campaign from 1958 to 1962 induced forced famine on the country, purging China's population, resulting in no less than 15 to 55 million murders during his diabolical reign of terror.
Lastly, Mao's Cultural Revolution, launched in 1966, was a purge of political opponents, Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, and other traditionalists of Chinese society. The resulting deaths are between 1 and 2 million Chinese citizens, murdered in the People's Republic of China, communist system.
It is written, For lo, thine enemies, O Lord, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. Psalms, chapter 92, verse 9.
The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. Psalms, chapter 9, verse 17.
Know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until ye perish from off this good land which the Lord your God hath given you. Joshua chapter 23, verse 13.